Artem is the founder of CopySite. We're going to talk about how to make your legal team happy, I think, roughly.
It's not just about legal team, it's also with a creative team and how to actually attribute works and how to make sure we're not stealing even without knowledge of stealing. Like how to work with the creative when it's not done by a human, when it's not done by a human creator. We only know how to navigate the whole thing when it was created by a human being. Now we're basically living in a very different time. At CopySite, we discovered that, and I was working as an artist, as a designer, as a creative director for many years, so we were selling and giving away our ideas and looking how people using it, how they purchase the rights to use those ideas. And now we're giving all our idea, all our creativities to AI, we feed it, and we expect it to produce something interesting, something cool, something as talented, as impressive. And then we want some attribution, and it's based on someone's ideas already because it's learned everything there in the internet. They just, every model scrape the whole creative works online, and now they're using it, sometimes with attribution, sometimes without. And we decided to become this safe layer for all the companies. They're using multiple models. We're model agnostic to make sure that you are using it in the right and ethical way. We're first to market copywriting tool for AI-generated content. And the problem we're solving is that if you are a company, a studio, or a marketing agency, an entertainment or gaming studio, you want to create with assistance of AI, and you want to make something really cool, and you want two things. You want to make sure it's unique and it's not infringing and not based on anyone's IP. And I trained all my life to watch different IPs around. As a creative director, I have to create unique ideas, but not everyone is looking at everything that exists in the world, and we cannot possibly know all the IPs in the world. The other part is like, I want to own the asset that I created, and that's the other problem that right now, at least with the current regulations, you only can copyright work of human being. You cannot copyright AI-generated thing. It's not, it's a public domain. And now if you want to actually protect it, you have to prove significant human involvement in the process. That's exactly what CopySite does, collecting the logs and creative decisions and making a compelling case for US Corporate Office. So those two things basically will unlock ethical use of generative AI. And it's so fun to see how things are going right now. So as AI-first copywriting tool, we have created a scoring risk scoring number. We put a number to similarity. We put a number almost like a credit score that now exists. Everybody used to it. So we're creating this similarity against a vast amount of IPs, most known IPs. We put a number to assess the risk. So if it's like from 0 to 35, go for it. If it's from 35 to 75, ask your IP lawyer. And if it's from 75, we're not touching it. Yep. So it's probably someone's IP. We also license our tech for policing, for content moderation solutions, so they can detect almost invisible things right now. AI-generated IP infringements are not very visible for most of the content moderation tools. And we help and secure proof of creation, the only way to copyright safe generative AI outputs. So how it looks like, let's go for a demo. It's just a very simple demo. I love to make it very simple. It's not like a previous products. We're very almost primitive, I would say. Not the technology, but the way we are checking things. We will going to run several examples with CopySite. And before that, I really want to go to our history or legacy competitor, TNI. Maybe some of you used it, but most of your IP teams definitely use that. The trick with that is that if you give them an existing painting of, let's say, my favorite David Hockney, I just saw him in person, not the David Hockney, the painting. And actually, it will find a lot of examples of actual painting. It's pool with two figures. I generated an image trained on several of his paintings. And with all the similarities, with all the like things, you will not having any matches because it's only compare pixel to pixel. And when I do the same thing with, like, let's say, more obvious example, like I call this example internally Spider-Man dog example. So it's clearly a Spider-Man dog, and it's no matches. It still doesn't feel like any problematic things with that. If we will do the running the same demo with copy site, we'll identify derivative influence on that thing. It will give you a scoring. It will say Stanley and Steve Ditko created it and owned by Marvel Entertainment, Walt Disney Company. It will basically say the little of like analysis of the thing. And the funny part of it that we're talking about inputs right now. All the companies are obsessed with their IP used by Midjourney, by multiple VLMs, and they use the output to prove that they have incorrect input or like infringed input. And they use it in the court, like images like this. It's a Midjourney generated Darth Vader. And they just saying this is Darth Vader, and we can actually provide a whole scoring analysis of it. And now Warner Brothers suing Midjourney for that, and we are open for discussion right now using our technology to make their case stronger. And that could be a very significant for this thing going forward. And we're talking about AI-generated commercials, like with the very little things that are very not obvious sometimes. That's AI-generated commercial by one of our clients for Levi's. So it was licensed by Levi's, but it was very interesting that it's identify both patches on the back of this frame. So we're looking for images, 3D assets, and actual videos. And long format videos are on the go this year. But the reasoning, how the thing works. So if you generate Daniel Radcliffe, and it will have his face, it will identify it's kind of Daniel Radcliffe copyright or his parents' copyright. In this case, if you add little attributions of the character he plays, he will identify the character and will say Harry Potter, 85%, J.K. Rowling, Warner Brothers Entertainment owns the character. So experiments like that are, like, internet is full of those experiments, and it's such a funny thing to have images like that. And it's still recognized, and it's still kind of make viral, and it's all there, and now it's almost impossible to detect those problematic images. The latest scandal you probably heard about, OpenAI ripped off all their Studio Ghibli IP and created the style of Studio Ghibli. Now we are in communication with president of Studio Ghibli and their board of directors to represent Studio Ghibli because Japan loses $15 billion on IP infringements of manga and anime every year. And to represent this heritage, it would be a very nice and strong case for us, but also we are in this realm where our tool can identify amazing things, much more than even creative director or art dealer or art critic can identify. And why I'm talking about art, the Iron Man frame from Iron Man, it identifies the costume of Iron Man, Mark XL2 armor. It identifies, of course, Robert Downey Jr., and it identifies Iron Man arc reactor. It's a little thing in his chest, and it's also a copyrightable and brand and design tool, like an iconic design element that is copyrighted. Those small things are very important to know before we go public or publish our content. Imagine you have a data set of 1 million images generated in AI to train your next model, or you use it for other purposes. Who knows if it's clean? Who checked them? Manually? So the copy site can run the check, can identify potential risk, and can help you to copyright your work that were AI assisted or created in AI. How we do that? We created a whole legal framework and already registered 2 AI assisted work with the US Copyright Office. We're one of the first companies in the world to register AI work and copyright the AI work. And that's only a beginning. Right now we are working with several like Hollywood production companies and media studios advertising and AI companies like Hicksfield, Agbo, Warner Brothers, and Sony. We engage with them on the different projects for different use cases, but it's very curious to see what is going on. Recently, as of today, actually, it's in news for everyone and my clients as well, we have accessible API, and you can work on and embed CopySite into your workflow, checking every AI output going public. Or even if you want to be sure, like Sony was very obsessed with having unique ideas and checking it even against the public domain as well. Those things are something that we're really, really working right now. So please connect with me whenever you're ready to discuss if you have AI pipelines that will help you to not get sued. And yeah, that's actually a very interesting moment where you can actually embed new hygiene for your business when you use AI. Thank you.